Hi, my name is Kayleigh, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to tune your TXD3204 4-channel amp and your TXD10001 subwoofer amp. This tuning process is going to be specific for your 2022 and up Toyota Tundra. The tools you're going to need for this is going to be a digital multimeter. You're also going to need a small flathead screwdriver and your Samsung or iPhone. In a previous video, we showed you how to download these test tones to your iPhone or Samsung. It is very important that you download these test tones and you do not stream them because that can produce inaccurate readings. This pre-tuned setup diagram will show you how to prepare your amp for tuning. Please pause here and ensure your TXD3204 knobs and switches match the pre-tuned diagram. In my last video, I instructed you to leave your amp output wires disconnected. We're going to grab these two pigtails. My green and purple one is going to go into the rear connection, and then my white and gray is going into the front. For this part, you're going to need your digital multimeter. Most multimeters come with probes. I'm going to be using alligator clips to make it easier for myself. I'm going to take the gray wires. You're going to connect the red wire to your wire without the black on it. And then you're going to connect the black one to the gray and black wire. You don't want these touching each other or metal because then again, your amp will go into protect mode. Okay, so here I am taping up my power wires that I ran behind my seat for my subs, just so they don't touch anything. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take our digital multimeter and turn it to alternating current, which is the V with the squiggly line. Okay, so now I can go ahead and turn on my truck. Your blue lights are gonna power on your amps, and you're gonna leave your truck running during the entire tuning process. Okay, so now you want to make sure that your phone is connected to your truck via Bluetooth, and then you want to come over here to your settings. You're going to scroll down to sound and media. You want to go where it says auto sound levelizer. Click on that. You want to make sure you turn this off. You're going to leave this off. Then you want to go to your sound tuning. You want to put all of these in the middle right there. Then go ahead and scroll down and click recenter. Okay, so now that you have all these settings flat and center, you want to leave these where they are and do not adjust them anymore. Your amp will take care of the rest. If you do adjust these at all, it can blow speakers and subs. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and go to your music, and we have the 1 kilohertz test tone playing. You want to slowly turn up your head unit to 55. And if you do hear anything coming out of your speakers or your subs, you want to stop right there and refer back to our installation diagram. Your phone volume should be adjusted by the head unit automatically. You do not want to be adjusting your volume with your phone. You want to be only using your head unit. At this point, I should see some voltage on my multimeter. Now I'm going to go ahead and come over here to my front sensitivity knob, and I'm going to turn it up and to the right until I hit 18 volts. Okay, so now that I'm as close as I can to 18 volts, you want to go ahead and change the test tone on your phone to 80 hertz, and you will see the numbers jump. Now go ahead and Google how to tune TXD3204 on your phone. Scroll down to the high pass filter calculator and enter the number you see on your multimeter. The calculator will provide your target voltage. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and enter the 19.9 on my multimeter into my calculator, and it's going to give me the target voltage of 14. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and come over here and move my switch to high pass filter. I'm going to go ahead and come to my high pass filter knob and turn it up and to the right till I hit my target voltage. Okay, so I got as close as I could to 14 on my multimeter, and now I've completed the front amp output and high pass filter settings, and you can go ahead and take off your multimeter and remove the gray and white pigtail. Now we're going to go ahead and connect our multimeter to our rear output wires. Strip these off. You're going to connect your red positive to your purple wire, making sure it doesn't touch anything. And then you're going to connect your black negative to your purple and black wire. Okay, so now that I have the 1 kilohertz test tone playing on my phone again, I'm going to go to my rear sensitivity knob, and I'm going to turn that up until it hits 17. Okay, so I got as close as I could to 17 on my multimeter, and I'm going to go ahead and play the 80 hertz test tone on my phone. And my multimeter is going to jump Now I'm going to go ahead and enter that number into my calculator. And now my target voltage for my high pass filter is 15.9. So now I'm going to come over here and get my rear switch, push it over to high pass filter. Now I'm going to go to my frequency knob and turn that one up and to the right until I hit my target voltage of 15.9. Now I've gotten as close as I can to 15.9 on my multimeter. I am finished with my 4-channel amp, and I can go ahead and disconnect and remove my pigtail. Now I want to make sure to not connect my amp output connections. We're going to connect those after we finish tuning our subwoofer amp. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect my digital multimeter to my subwoofer wiring, positive to positive and negative to negative. Okay, so you want to make sure that your bass knob is connected and turned all the way up to the maximum volume. And then you also want to make sure your head unit is still at 55 with your truck running. For this next part, I want to go ahead and select the 50 Hertz test tone on my phone. Okay, so now I want to come over to the sensitivity knob on my subwoofer amp, and I want to turn this one up and to the right until I hit 46.5 on my multimeter. Okay, so now that I am as close as I can get on my multimeter to 46.5, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to my 80 Hertz test tone on my phone. Now that my numbers have jumped on my multimeter, I'm going to go back to my tuning calculator and I'm going to scroll down and go to my low pass filter calculator and enter those numbers. I'm going to enter 37.6 into my low pass filter calculator, and my target voltage is going to be 21.7. Now I'm going to come over here to my low pass filter knob and turn it down and to the left until I reach my target voltage of 21.7. Okay, so now that I'm as close as I can get to 21.7, in this next part I'm going to be explaining my subsonic and my bass boost knobs. This is our bass boost knob. It is not used in this setup, so make sure not to touch it. We're going to come over to our subsonic knob, and we want to turn that to the 9 o'clock position, which is going to be about right there, centered in the middle. Okay, so now that I have my amplifiers tuned, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my head unit. It is very important that I do not play these test tones on my door speakers or subs because it can damage them. Okay, so now our amplifiers are tuned to a volume level of 55 on our head unit. You want to make sure you do not go past that volume because that can damage your speakers and subs.